Good
All right.
morning. I'm Marion LaSalle. This is Russ Johns and Ted Liman, and today we are talking on a beautiful device that is not only in our homes but also outdoors, right? On our phones and on our computers. And we're really excited to bring you this show, Tools, Tips, and Teamwork. And it's with Ted Lehman. He is outside today in the Houston area at the OTC, which is the Offshore Technology Conference here in the Houston, Texas area. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, Ted. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing great. Actually, today, I guess it's the favor of the goodness. The weather is not so hot, and uh, the sun is not messing up with our camera, so can't complain.
Excellent, excellent. So we were going to be talking about know where you are,
What does
and
that mean?
some of the subjects around know where you are. What does that mean to you, Ted? What kind of a context were you thinking of when you picked this subject? Because it's a fascinating subject.
Yeah. Well, I started off with this subject here. I just uh, I've been in this situation before. I want to share it to everyone. Know where you are. In other words, really, not every one of us know where we are. Sometimes, as business owners, entrepreneurs, or even somebody who is trying to rise up in their career lives,
Mhm.
what we know is just keep on doing what we're doing. And the entrepreneurs, small business owners, we keep on trying to penetrate the market via internet, LinkedIn, Facebook, and it seems like they don't work. And once they don't work, we get into this what I call hamster wheel, where we feel like, you know what, just keep on doing it, just keep on doing it. One day it will pay off. Now, the big question is, does that really pay off? I've seen too many people who are in unfortunate positions that they persist in what they're doing, they keep on doing it, and one day they say, you know what, it's not working out for me. Owning my own business is not for me. I have to get back to work. I have to pick up some shifts at grocery stores or
Right.
fast food industry. So the question is, does that really pay off?
Well, I think it does, and I know you're going to tell us why. If you just be persistent, it's going to pay off, right, Ted?
Yeah. Well, persistent, of course, is the element of the recipe of successful business. And what I want to share is that also like this. Some people don't think of it like this. Work hard pays off, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But have you ever seen? And I won't mention any kind of career because I don't want to offend anybody. But have you ever seen somebody doing something that you don't want, but they are really good in what they're doing? They're really persistent. Nobody else
Yes.
is better than them,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
RJ's one of them. He's in the room right now. Say good morning to RJ. RJ
Hey,
is
RJ.
very persistent and he loves what he does.
Hey, RJ, how you doing? Let me see
He's
if I can
exactly
see.
what you're talking about, Ted.
Yeah. And that's the
Right,
thing. It takes all kinds to make the world go round, right, Ted?
right, right. Exactly. Now, it's- actually, RJ is a really good example. I met RJ, I think about 2 weeks ago at at an event,
Uh-huh.
and he was telling me about his business, and I told him, actually, I have my own personnel who is doing that. It's Future Media. It's like, oh, I know Marion and Russ. And little did I know what he mentioned was actually different than what you guys are doing. It's not necessarily exactly the same.
Right.
Now, to me, I don't know where I was. You see, I don't know where I was at the moment. I don't know where I am back then. So that's exactly what I meant in the subject uh, of this workshop today. Is that I thought I know where I was, but I don't, and that's because I'm not like you guys. I don't go out to any kind of technology events, social media, internet, the online world. I'm not out there. Although uh, I am out here knowing where I am in my oil and gas industry, but not in your industry.
Right. We call it the bubble, Ted. Every industry has its own language, its own communication skills. That's a subset of what we're doing, right?
Right.
When you're talking about project management, it's completely different than project management in a software development company, right?
Yeah.
Even though the basic principles are the same, you have roles and responsibilities, and you have timelines and deadlines and budgets and all of those things. The process that you're applying it to may change, and therefore the communication will change in that arena, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And something else is just like what you said. I mean, we have our own bubble of our industries, and some people actually get blindsided, meaning that yes, I am in tune with the oil and gas industry, but how am I in foreign policy? Where am I in export and import policy? And where am I in taxation? Now, I don't know if you guys know or not, but I checked with my accountant. Now, building a website is a taxable sales.
Yeah.
So you see, like to me, back then, it was not a taxable sales. And then after I learned it, knowing where I was, I learned that although it's just a service, now it's taxable. Whenever the government feels like they're not getting their piece of cheese, they want to tax it. Right? That's what So so the original idea that if you buy something out of state, there is no tax on it. It's not taxable.
Yeah. That's changing.
Well, that's right. The government calls Jeff Bezos like, hey, Amazon.com. By the way, you make a lot of money out of your online sales. So we want our money. So we're changing the rules. And Jeff is like, what are you talking about? Your rules is like this, blah, blah, blah. They're like, no, we're changing it. You see, he felt like he was not where he was supposed to be. And then later on, he found out that the government, every time they see that there's a big sale slipping out, they don't want that to happen. And really the very notion of if you buy something from out of state, you don't have to pay tax. They actually rely upon you to pay the tax on your own out of integrity per se. Marion. so I mean that, and that's not new, right? I mean, when you actually buy something out of state, you have to buy it here. I mean, that's not new. You have to pay the sales tax,
right?
But eventually, that's exactly what we mean by sometimes we don't know it without realizing it. We have to go out there. We have to find out, where are we? I mean, are we really there? I mean, are we really in compliance? When is the sales corporation income tax due? When is the franchise tax due? Got to know all that, because eventually those little things are the make or do or die information that you need for your business.
I love the list, and I did put it in the chat room. I don't know if you can see that on your phone or not,
yeah,
Ted.
I can.
But this, one of the things that you need to do is update yourself with everything that's relative to your industry. And you listed 11 different things. I'm sure you could add even more. But that is so important, because if you know your industry and you know what your keywords are and you know where the people are that you can connect with, the colleagues and the people that you could joint venture with, it makes your life so much easier. It makes your business easier. You're not going to get in trouble with the government because you know the laws and you keep up with this type of thing. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, how, as an entrepreneur or small business owner, do you have time to do that and run your business?
Yeah. Well, you actually need to make a priority of your business life. And it's just like the list that you posted out there, Marianne, you need to know All these items right here are some things that you need to know to run business successfully, to become business owner successfully, or even just to become an individual successfully working for corporations. That's also important. Prioritize it. And I want to give you a very funny example. Yesterday, uh, a friend of mine, the husband, invited her to come along with him to go to a social networking event. And as she was there, there's this black guy like running, jumping, and grabbing the husband from behind him. And and that black guy say, "Hey man, it's been a while. Yeah, how you doing?" So they reminisce about maybe 30 seconds or so, and then my friend, she is like, "Hey, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Yeah, how you doing?" And that black guy shook her hands like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to introduce you. I'm the mayor of Houston."
I'm the mayor of Houston.
I'm
Oh, that's great.
and she was like, "Well, I don't know. I never watched the news."
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
sounds like something I would do. Oh no.
So know where you are. The subject of this show right here. Going back to there. Same thing with us. I mean, like with me, for example, if I ever responded to any kind of requisitions coming from Iran or Burma, all those kind of countries, and then I actually try to sell it. Once everything has gone through, the PO has been approved, we manufacture this equipment for, let's say, like 50 weeks or so, and sometimes it takes longer than that. And then when we try to ship it, the port of Houston would say, we are not allowed to do business with those countries. Then that's it. All the effort is lost, the time is lost, and then the customer actually is doing COD, cash on delivery. So that's it. I mean, we would lose every single thing, right? So that's why I mean, like, it's very important to be in the know. Very important to know where you are. Need to know what your industry can do. Need to know what you can do as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and that rule applies to online. A lot of people are using LinkedIn to get resumes out there. They're using business connections. It's completely different than Twitter. Twitter is a completely different platform. It's like going to a golf course versus a dinner club versus a theater. Every environment is different, and it's no different in business. I mean, you have to understand who's in the room, what the connections are, and how they play the rules, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
all different. So, and you brought up some great, solutions to keep educated on those topics. So, like OTC now, what is your goal at OTC? What is your focus in learning about that industry and how you can apply your skill set, your talent, and your business? How's that connection going to work for you today?
Sure. The purpose of coming out here is to update ourselves with the latest news, with the latest technologies, and see what everybody else are doing. Because the oil and gas industries, as you guys know, have came down since 2 years ago. The price of an oil
Right.
came down from $115, I believe. It was the highest point, went all the way down to under $30. So that being said, I mean, if you go to OTC today, it's not like what it was last year or the year before. It's different. Everybody have smaller booths. Everybody have less dinner receptions, less invitations. I mean, it's just different all over the place. Now, however, there are still some survival timeline in this industry. So we want to know what everybody else is doing. It kind of like gives you encouragement as well that everybody is still around, and everybody are hopeful and what's going to happen in the next couple of years.
Oh, and it will come back.
Absolutely, yeah. So, what a lot of industries here are doing, as they know that the water has retrieved to the ocean, everybody is prepping up, making sure that they are ready when the water would come in rushing to the shore, basically. And we are prepping up. We are boosting up on the R&D, new technologies, and see any kind of opportunities that were not explored in the past. Yeah. And and that's not the end of it. Once you find out about these kind of things, it is also a good opportunity for you to go out there and see if there are some services that you offer that they don't have.
So, Ted, how important is technology in the oil and gas industry for consulting like your company does? How important is it that you can be on the internet wherever you are?
Yeah, it is. It is actually very important. Being on the internet now. Did you mean actually the one that relates to the technical side of it, or more in the communication side?
Yes, in general. I mean,
Yeah.
how important is it for you and your company to be live on the internet, doing business with people around the world, wherever you are?
It is actually very important. Many times we do teleconference, and they're not the same as video conference. Doing a face to face like this is imperative. I can see your facial expressions. I could see how you would react if I were to give you, see, just like that. So if I were to say, Marion, I can deliver it to you in 2 weeks, and then you give me that face, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So you don't like 2 weeks. What do you want? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But when you are on the phone, you can't see that. So you don't know how your customers react. And
Same with email, right?
same with email. So that being said, they sometimes would not take the time and get back to me and say, Ted, 2 weeks is not good. They would just say, you know what, this job is about to be over anyway. This is the last time we're using this company, right? I mean, it could be a lost business. And that's why business classes, first classes are always packed. They want to meet face to face.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, to be frank with you, I've been to, I, I can always think, I always think Indonesia is like the farthest point from Houston. And I've been to a meeting in Indonesia where I just go in there, 1 day meeting, and then return back here.
Oh.
And yeah, and it's a 35-hour trip one way.
Oh.
So you he spent 35 hours for an hour meeting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No,
Exactly.
no.
Yeah,
When you could do the same thing, right, like we're doing right now.
exactly. But so here's know where you are moment for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if Glap works in all countries in the world, right? Because was that WhatsApp got blocked in Brazil not too long ago, and Facebook is blocked in China, and I mean there are some things that are blocked in certain countries.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. There are limitations.
right. So what I would have done in this situation, I would contact my one of my employees in Indonesia and say, hey, let's test the Blab. Let's see if it works before the meeting, right? Because otherwise, I would send the meeting notes, and then later on during the meeting, then uh, black screen. That's not
Right.
good.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, we've had that happen.
And that's all about going back to your point, knowing where you are and what's acceptable. It could be very easily more beneficial to be in person, be at the event, because of the the importance of the communication, the importance of meeting somebody, shaking their hand, being in the same room. You cannot replace that in a lot of industries, right?
Right. Exactly.
Once you've met them, once you have the relationship, and once you have that communication, then technology is much easier to approach and use, right?
Right.
It can work the opposite way too. I've noticed that a lot of times I'll meet somebody on the internet some way, whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Blab, appear in Zoom, It doesn't matter. If I've met them on the internet and then I meet them in person, it's almost like I am your best friend. I know you
Right.
already. We're connected.
Right.
And I find that really does help to connect with people online before I meet them. So if I'm going to a conference or I'm going to an event where I know I'm going to meet certain people, I will go and make sure that I'm connected with them ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really helps. Now, you're dealing with people from all over the world, different cultures. You're dealing with different laws, rules, regulations, and let's face it, what is proper etiquette here in the United States is not going to go in China, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Never throw your business cards across the table for them to see.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to go out there. You got to turn it towards their point of view, and you hold your card on the tips of on the edges, and bow a little bit. That's an extra. You want to be fancy, you bend your right leg if you want to go along with it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, different ways of doing things, different way of doing things, and like in Indonesia, you never use your left hand for anything. So even if your right hand is dirty, your left hand is the only option you have. You give it to them as you actually touching your right hand with your left hand. That's how you present it to them. So at least they know that you're still respecting the whatever you're passing on to them
The
with your right hand.
cultural expectation.
Right.
So if you're left-handed, that's really a handicap.
And that's why many Indonesians are not left-handed, because like Caitlin, my daughter, she has a tendency of being left-handed, but we train her, use your right hand. I think even until today, like if you throw a ball at her, the reflex will be like the left hand, but she's doing everything with the right hand.
Oh,
I would really have a problem since my right hand is broken.
They'll understand, Ross.
Yeah. They'll say, oh, that American, he just broken arm.
You broke the wrong arm, Russ. Let's be.
It is hard to say. I'm glad I got to keep it. That's all I get to say.
We only have 5 minutes left, Ted. Is there anything that you want to discuss or to go over before we close the show?
Yeah.
Wrap up.
Sure. What I wanted to encourage people to do is, know where you are, find out a lot of information on your business. I mean, same thing with Jeff Bezos. I mean, he took a class on how to be in a bookstore business. There's no shame to it. And Elon Musk, when he asked, how do you get so smart? He said, I just work a lot. I just study a lot. I mean, he knows a lot of things. And same thing with us, that actually would distinguish us from the rest of the world, is that we study our field. We know from every single point, from tax point of view, government point of view, and you do international business from international policy point of view. Go to trade shows, networks, know your colleagues, know the people that you are working with, you're working against. I mean, knowing your competitors are not a bad thing, and keep yourself in the loop.
Be informed about what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And be persistent.
That's right, and be persistent.
You're a classic example of that, Ted. You could have easily said, I want to cancel tomorrow. I'm going to be at the OTC conference. But instead you said, what if we were to do it live? We could cancel, but could we? Can we? And we said, yes. I mean, let's step outside the box. Let's be persistent. Be on the show every week if we possibly can. It's wonderful. Yeah. So I admire you, Ted. Good luck at the show. I hope you get a lot out of it. I hope you meet a lot of new clients and make some good connections while you're there.
Really expect reports back next week.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. And Marian, thank you for also having the faith on the internet data. You say, let's do it, Ted. The worst thing you have to do, you have to step outside. So I'm thinking, might as well just do it outside.
Well, it's a beautiful day. It looks like it's a fantastic opportunity to learn a lot. And get out there and network with several individuals. So
Nice. Hi, Sean.
Yeah.
Say hi, Sean.
Say hi, Sean. Yeah, he can hear you. I have 3 employees here. I have Sean and I have 2 other employees. But I'm thinking this 30-minute show has been a ritual for us for 3 months now, at least 3 or 4 months. So yeah, they can wait for 30 minutes.
All right.
We'll let you get after it, and we'll wrap it up today. And thank you for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to share this topic. It's important for so many individuals to learn about platforms, learning about where you are, be aware of what your surroundings are, and learn as much as possible.
And be persistent.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely.
All right. Until next week. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for everybody watching. Thanks, Russ and Marianne. Take care.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.